It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go.
He says ta-da.
And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S.
It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome back to the second edition of the Menangle Angle. My name's Jessica Watkins and I'm joined by my co-host David Wonson, who is the General Manager for Racing Operations here at Club Menangle. Well, Wono, it has been an action-packed week to say the least, but how have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, really good. Really good night, Breeders' Challenge Finals night. A lot of good action on the track. Look, there was a lot of functions here. A lot of the owners did show up, which was great to see. The restaurant was really full. And, of course, we had some great racing here as well, which highlighted by the great leap to fame.
If I had to peg you down for one specific highlight of the night, what would yours be?
Look, I really like watching Ashtalousa. Not one Group 1s, but two Group 1s in the space of 30 minutes. Her ability over the 12 months, her development, her improvements just been outstanding, where we've seen her actually drive in the Eureka and two Group 1s there, and thoroughly deserved. They were very aggressive drives. As owners, you'd be really impressed with the drives that she had that night. So, that was a highlight. And also just a nice mention to Tanner Brown, winner of the JC Caffin. His first ever winner. He's driven a lot of place getters, the young lad. But he come downtown, won his first race in the JC Caffin. I'm sure it's one him and his family won't forget anytime soon.
That win by Tanner Brown was a very special win. I know his mum, his sister and his dad also drove in the race. So that would have been pretty cool for his dad to see as well. But he does have bragging rights, that's for sure. And what a way to score your maiden victory on one of the biggest stages here in harness racing.
Yeah. What about yours, Jess?
My highlight, I can't go past Larry, Leap to Fame. He's just incredible. Arguably the best horse in the world at the minute, and we were so lucky that he was here on Saturday night at Club Menangle and he was in fine fashion, and sounds like it's full steam ahead now to New Zealand. Yeah,
he did look awesome. I think it was 1:51.9 or something, half a second outside the track record, and it was just a warm-up. I think Grant said he'd never actually fully released the brakes, so just amazing and scary to think what's around the corner for him.
That's for sure. And if I had to give an honourable mention to another win of the night, I'd have to go with the opener there in Craftman's Charlie. I know he's one of my favourite horses. I seem to give him a push
many times.
Every time that he's racing here at Menangle, but that really kick-started what was an epic night for Ashley DeLosa there. It was a great drive by her in that first race, and she just went on to bigger and better things as the card went on.
I think you were around the money all night too, so you've done a pretty good job there, Jess.
Very good. Well, we always like tipping winners on the Menangle Angle. So let's get stuck into our race-by-race preview. Race 1 this Saturday night comes up at 6:17 p.m. and it's our fast class event for the night, if you like, here, and looks to be a very open affair on paper. But Wono, you'd have to suggest that the James Rattray horses here in Where You Been Boppin', Star Major and Magician really lead the charge here.
Yeah, James has had a strong hand in the free-for-alls here in recent months. Look, I'm a Where You Been Boppin' fan. Like, he's been around about the money. I think he's got 3 placings or 4 placings his last 5 starts. He's always been around the money. He's got great gate speed and the miles he's tripped. He's got Taylor Osman on, so he's ticking a lot of boxes for me. Where You Been Boppin', really hard to beat. Magician had a warm-up trial here 10 days ago in a lazy 52, but race conditions drawn a little bit wider. Where You Been Boppin's going on fitness. I wouldn't be surprised if I seen a bit of an improved performance by number 3. Pete's said so. Might be one to play in the exotics. He's been drawn wide lately. He's going to get to the rails pretty cheaply, and that's where he races best.
I did say it was a wide open affair, but another runner I think you have to keep safe here is number 7, Mac Da Vinci, especially if the likes of Arden's Ace and Where You Been Boppin' get into a speed duel early on. That could really bring him into the finish here as well.
Especially if he brings his early season form where he was absolutely flying with a sub-150 win there.
Race 2 we look across to, and it's for the national rating up to 95 here, and there are a number of horses in this event that are actually nominated for the Inter-Dominion, so they'll be out to get another one in their form there and hopefully be able to improve coming into the final rankings in a few weeks' time. But I think Jillaby Nitro and Unfazed, they definitely have class on their side in this field. They're both utilising a claim as well. Unfazed has a 3-point claim there for Taylor Osman, and Jillaby Nitro has Hannah Rickson on for the 3-point claim here. And you'd have to think these are two leading chances.
Yeah, really open race. Any number of winners in this race, but really important to note with these horses that are nominated for the Inner Dominion, a good performance does see you shoot up the rankings. Of course, a few of them probably in that middle range, a bit lower, outside that 36. But we've seen with Donegal Luther, who went from about 75 to 50 when it went really good here, out of grade in the free-for-all last week. A really admirable run, beat a lot of free-for-all horses home that you can improve your position. So those horses that are maybe lagging in that mid-range, in the 50 range, step up this Saturday night and you'll see your rankings improve for the Inner Dominion.
It is a race over the mile as well, and I break the line. We've spoken about him often on this show, Wono, and we've seen him set a sub 150 mile rate earlier on. As I mentioned, it's over the 1,609 metres. Drawn favourably in 2 there as well.
Yeah, look, and they've always had a high opinion of the horse. Well, it's time to start delivering on that opinion. We've seen it earlier in the year. We know he can do it. Also an interesting one. Number 1, Anything Goes. 2 starts ago, looked awesome in his second in a free-for-all. Something he missed last start where he dropped out, but Josh Gallagher, not sure if Josh is actually going to be here Saturday night. I think wedding bells are ringing on Sunday for Josh, so not sure if Alicia would be too happy with him driving the night before. But anyway, time will tell. But all the best for you, Josh.
And Alicia
as well.
Sorry.
And Alicia, yeah, of course. Maybe more best of luck to Alicia than Josh.
Race 3 here, and well, you haven't made it easy on punters here, Wono. It's another wide open affair on this race. How did you assess it?
Yeah, it's funny, these 80s are always wide assessed races. You know, horses can win 3 or 4 of them before they progress, so it is very good for the owners, these 80 races, because you can win 3 or 4 at the 20,000, earn a good quid, and then progress up the grade. But yeah, they've just really been open lately. I like number 2, Speculating. I tipped him here a couple of weeks ago, got a good draw. He's got form against harder grade. This is not the hardest 80 I've ever seen. So he's got the services of Cameron Hart. We know all about Cameron. We speak about him enough, how good he is. So, yeah, I think, number 2, he's probably one of the best bets of the night, Speculating in race 3.
He might even feature for me a little bit later on. So I hope you haven't let the cat out of the bag too early. Race 4, we see the Square Gators get to take centre stage nice and early on the card, so the racing manager must have had a bit of say in that. But it's a 2,300 metre event, mobile start here. We get to see 2 Group 1 winners go head-to-head here in the Locomotive and London to a Brick. Both fabulous trotters, and it's great to have them here at Club Menangle.
Both 4-year-olds, so there's a lot of racing left in them. Yeah, this is a really strong race. It deserves its spot higher in the card. This race will turn over really good. You got Locomotive, is probably about $3. London to a Brick's about $1.90. And then you start getting really nice odds to horses like Funky Monkey's going to be $6 or $8. Toro Stride's got fantastic gate speed. We know he can win in fast time here. Interesting, Cameron Hart's taking the drive there now. So, yeah, he's got great gate speed. And all of a sudden you've got double-figure odds about horses like Sunny G and that have been performing really well here. So, really, really strong race, but looking forward to that match race. Locomotive, London to a Brick, I can't split him. At this stage, maybe Locomotive because he has been racing, won the 4-year-old size stakes or Vicbred recently. And London to a Brick coming back from a spell. But, yeah. Really, really hard race.
London to a Brick is actually owned in the same company as well as Sugar Pie Honey and Golly G Fellas. So those owners had a great time here last Saturday night, and I'm sure they'll be hoping that their trotter can continue their success.
Isn't it amazing though, like that success, and they were so excited here on Saturday night getting that double Group 1 in the winning owners room. They were just really pumped, people ringing them. It was only a matter of about 6 weeks ago they actually owned Fighter Command, who about 2 hours after the barrier draw for the Eureka, that absolute high, where I think he was drawn barrier 1 in a $2 million world's richest harness race, 2 hours after the barrier draw, and the horse is fighting for its life. Coincidentally, I think Saturday was the first day. It's come back out of the box and into the paddock. So, yeah, that in itself was a great relief to him. Just the highs and lows this sport can bring is amazing. And, yeah, they were on that high on Saturday night.
That's exactly like you just said there, the highs and lows of racing, and it was a great night for those owners. But like you said 6 weeks ago, the lowest of lows. But it's great news about Fighter Command that he's back out in a paddock now, and hopefully we'll be able to see him back on the track in the future. Race 5 is the feature event on Saturday night's card, and it is the Rod and Fran Fitzpatrick 2-year-old Tatlow Stakes. It's a listed classic for these juveniles here, and it's always great whenever we get to see these young horses take centre stage at Club Menangle.
Yeah, the young 2-year-old boys going around. Impressive field. It's a good time of year for them. You know, they're all just coming towards the end of their campaigns. It's just after the 2-year-old Breeders' Challenge Series. So you've seen a lot of these horses are racing in the bush, been winning. Number 2 in particular, Fasting. Funny, been going fast in the bush. He had a very fast time last start winner at Wagga, which was interesting because Darren Hancock took him down to Wagga. Darren don't like travelling too far with his horses if he doesn't have to. So
I think in the photo too that Wagga Harness Racing Club posted, Brian Hancock was also in the photo there. So
there you go. So he had a pretty strong support team with him, didn't he? Fasting, but yeah, really good down there. A win down there at Wagga. 2 interesting runners in this race for me, and they both raced last week, a 6 and 7. Sweet on Lexi, charged out of the gate. I think he sat parked in the final in a very, very, very strong race. If we're talking about ratings, that 2-year-old race will rate really strong, I think, throughout the next couple of years. He sat parked and was only beaten 20 metres in a very, very fast time. He can go really good, Sweet on Lexi. And don't dismiss number 7. He's a Malteser. He was good in the semi-final, really good in the semi-final, but he played up in the final, galloped away and lost all chance at the start. So if they can come through last week's runs okay, just their experience, I think they're the top 2 picks in this race. I would be 6 and 7.
We saw just what Sweet on Lexi is capable of up there in his Queensland campaign, especially in that Wayne Wilson there. Do you have any queries about him on the short backup after the trip that he did have in running?
Oh, look, I don't think Bernie would be bringing him if he had any doubts about that. He looks after his great 2-year-old and 3-year-old trainer, Bernie. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And the horse has had a pretty good year, plenty of fitness under him, so that won't hurt him too much. And, yeah, he wouldn't be in there if he didn't think he could back up. So, yeah, the 6 and 7 for me.
Race 6 is another division of the national rating, up to 80 here. And a horse that caught my eye in this field was number 5, Leona Survivor. I know that when we're looking at Penrith form from a Monday, it's a big step up to a Saturday grade here at Menangle, but he won this past Monday at Penrith and he demolished that field by 20 metres. The Stephen Ferrugia team as well, they were on fire here on Tuesday. He got a race-to-race double, and I've no doubt they'll be hoping to continue that success here on Saturday night with this horse.
Yeah, once again, we're talking about the highs and lows. He's definitely on a high, Stephen Ferrugia. There's not too many doubles he's had here at Menangle, so they'd still be on high, and that team's going really, really good. He's got the services of Robert Morris. Look, I'm going to also lean, don't leave number 2, Tishan Raider. I know we've had a little bit of a dab at him on this program before a little while ago. The horse can go really good. He's had one run back from a spell. He finished 5th, and it was a touch stronger race than this. From barrier 2, I think he can give you a really good run for your money, and he has good form here. He's won here before, so really important in this race. And also number 8, Argent Peak, Seaton Griner, takes the reins there, trained by Seaton. Last start winner, can also throw up a good run every now and then.
We know Tishan Raider has great gate speed when utilised, so I'd love to see him from the barrier 2 there, handlebars down and going.
Trained by the great Harry Martin.
Race 7, we get to see the mares take centre stage here, and I've narrowed it down to 2 here in Sweet Agenda and Ludicrous. Sweet Agenda has been in really consistent form of late for Seaton Grimer, and it's utilising his 3-point claim. And then Ludicrous, well, she really needs no introduction after her run last week. The draw hasn't been kind to her here in 9, but she was so close to getting that 4-year-old mare's title last Saturday.
Yeah, she's going fantastic. And you've got to remember, she's just been beaten a nostril and a nostril by Who Keep Smiling, who finished 5th in the Eureka. A tough one to run into, and she's run into her the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, she's going super. 5 consecutive placings. Gets into this race a little bit better because it's also for up to 90, but also horses that haven't won in the last 5. Well, I think she's got 3 seconds and 2/3, and in one of them's in group company. So, yeah, really hard to go past number 9, Ludicrous. And she's nominated for the Inter Dominion as well. I wouldn't leave Promised Land out either. She's got a third there last week, so yeah, she'll sit back, come home with a wet sail, but really hard to go past number 9, Ludicrous.
Race 8 here. I think I know which one you might be standing out in this field here. He's one of your favourites, I'm going to go out and say, but Port-au-Prince, can you make a case for something against him?
Port-au-Prince, 31 starts this season for no wins. How's he one of my favourites, Jess?
Well, I feel like you seem to push him nearly every single week.
One day. So sometimes when you get off, it's usually when they win. So like, I'm going to tell him I'm not picking him this week. But I think he's reverse psychology. Look, you might hear about this a little bit later in Wono's way this race. So that's all I'll say about Port-au-Prince.
I hope you are sticking with Port-au-Prince because you've stuck with him
I do.
all the way through the season. It would be a shame to jump off now. Well, Wono, as always, we try and find plenty of winners on the Menangle angle. What's your best bet on the card?
Look, I'm probably going to go back to race 3, Speculating. Tipped him here before. I probably need some endorsing on Speculating because, as I said, I have tipped him when he's run a place. But he's a nice horse. Chris Judd trained locally here. As I said, he's got Cameron Hart. And not overly strong 80, even field, but not overly strong. And this horse has raced against better horses. So I know they've got an opinion of him. Race 3, number 2, Speculating is probably my best bet.
Well, with my best bet that's about to come up, you'll tell how much me and Wono actually talk about things because my best bet on the card is also race 3, number 2, Speculating.
Got some pressure on him now, hasn't he?
No pressure, Juddy and Cam, but we'll both be cheering him home. And like you mentioned there, he's been really consistent of late. I thought he was strong throughout the Carousel series, especially in his heat win there. And I think he gets a little bit of a drop back to what he has been racing those last 2 starts. So I think that's a big advantage for him. So no pressure, guys.
No pressure at all, both of us.
Wono's Way, what are you playing?
Okay, we're going to the last race. Now, I got a Wono's Way a couple of weeks ago on a box Quinella, multi Quinella. I'm going that way again. So we're going to go to the last race. So I know if you've got plenty, just have plenty more on. If you haven't, just save a little bit for the last race. We're going to go box Quinella, multi Quinella, and the numbers are 4, 6, and 8. Number 4, Port-au-Prince. I can't leave him out now. I've got to keep going. Got to keep batting with Port-au-Prince. Number 6, Corby Stumbler, Jared Ouch, and Cameron Hart takes the drive. This horse has got a little bit of form, and they supported it here a couple of starts ago. And number 8, Kuzma, James Rattray, Taylor Osman, one of my favourite drivers here, Taylor. Takes the drive. It's also performing pretty well, and this is a 3rd division of the 80. So they're the highest rated horses in this race. So box Quinella, or multi Quinella, as we've been saying, 4, 6, and 8 in that last race here at Menangle. If you've got plenty, have plenty on. If you haven't got much, just whatever's left there, box Quinella it. You'll get a return.
I'm glad to see you're sticking loyal. I would have been disappointed if you weren't.
Got to stick.
Well, there's plenty of events coming up at Club Menangle this Saturday night. We actually have an after party after the last race. So there'll be a DJ up there in the King of Swing Pavilion. There'll also be plenty of drink specials and cocktail specials. So it's sure to be a good time. And Wono might even be out there busting a move or two.
Cocktail
Who knows?
Sounds good. I've been on the wagon for the last month. Is it November? It's November tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. The wagon finishes November 1, so November 2 on the disco floor. Sounds pretty good to me.
Get ready.
Cocktails.
On Saturday, the 9th of November as well, we see the Italian Cup take centre stage here on the track, but also in our Miracle Mile restaurant. There's an Italian-inspired menu, and I'm sure it's sure to be delicious.
Yes, I'm sure it is. I don't know, pizza, is Bellissimo, is that a food? Anyway, we'll look at all that nice Italian food. I just like food, but Italian food's fantastic. Yeah, I'll be into the pastas and whatnot. And it's also market night. So put that in your calendar. We know how successful they are here. Really good atmosphere on market night. So please, mark down November 9. I'm sure it'll be an exciting night to be here.
And of course, our next major carnival that we will hold comes up on December 7, and grand final nights is December 14. It's the Inter-Dominion Series back here in New South Wales for the first time in 3 years.
3 years.
Yep,
2021.
3 years. Yep. So it's sure to be a great series. The final round of rankings will come out.
They're on in another 2 weeks. I think it's about November 13 that the final rankings come out. So, yeah, everyone, you've got a couple of weeks there to impress. Get up. If you're a little bit low, be racing. It's the only way you can get up there. So I'm sure there'll be a few movers over the next couple of weeks. Some really good racing.
Well, Wono, it's been great to catch up with you as always. We unpacked the Breeders' Challenge night last Saturday. We've taken a look at this Saturday night's upcoming 8-race card, and I've really enjoyed it. Have you?
Yes, it's always good. Always good to talk to you, Jess. And what a beautiful day it is out here at Menangle. Maybe a few storms around, but no, some nice racing here on Saturday night. And yeah, I look forward to doing all this again next week.
Very good. Well, we'll be back again on audio version next Thursday afternoon, and of course on video version next Friday. So thank you, as always, for joining us on the Menangle Angle, and we hope you back plenty of winners this Saturday night, and we'll catch you next week.